everyone, welcome back to the channel. Alexander Zverev is one of the most exciting and promising players in tennis today. With his powerful game and impressive achievements, he's made a mark on the ATP Tour at a very young age. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into his career from his early rise to prominence to the challenges he's faced along the way, including some unforgettable matches and moments that have shaped his journey. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're new here, especially if you love player biographies like this one. We've got some incredible stories lined up. With 23 ATP titles, including 6 in 2021 and a Grand Slam final at the 2020 US Open, Alexander Zverev is one of the most promising talents in the current generation of tennis. Born in Hamburg, Germany on April 20, 1997, Zverev was introduced to the world of sports by his family. His father, a former professional tennis player, and his mother, a former tennis player, played a key role in his development. From a very young age, Zverev showed his talent, and by just 17 years old, he was already competing in the most important tournaments on the professional circuit. Zverev grew up in a competitive environment. His early talent did not go unnoticed, and by the age of 17, he was already standing out in youth competitions. He made his professional debut in 2014 with performances that caught the attention of many. In 2016, at the age of 19, he won his first ATP singles title at the St. Petersburg Open, marking his first major victory on the professional circuit. With an aggressive yet technical playing style, Zverev stood out for his ability to serve powerfully, one of his biggest strengths. His skill in dominating the baseline with a solid backhand and his impressive movement also became trademarks in his game. Zverev's major breakthrough in tennis came in 2017 when he broke into the ATP top 10. That same year, he won his first Masters 1000 title in Rome, defeating Novak Djokovic in the final, making him one of the most talked about players on the circuit. His victory in Rome was a milestone not only because it was his first Masters 1000 title, but also because it confirmed his immense potential. In the following years, Zverev continued to grow and impress. He solidified his place as one of the brightest prospects of the younger generation in tennis. In 2018, he won the ATP Finals, the tournament that brings together the top 8 players of the year, defeating none other than Novak Djokovic in the final, a feat that solidified his position as one of the leading names on the circuit. Key matches and notable titles: the US Open 2020. Although Zverev lost the final to Dominic Thiem in an epic 5-set match, his campaign in the tournament was monumental. He faced a series of the top opponents, including Novak Djokovic in the semifinals, and his performance showed his growing maturity in high-stakes matches. Even with the loss, he became a serious contender for future Grand Slam titles. ATP Finals 2018. One of the most emblematic wins of his career, Zverev defeated Djokovic, one of the most dominant players in history, in the ATP Finals. This victory marked not only his first Masters 1000 title, but also showcased his talent in an event that gathers the best tennis players of the year. The win over Djokovic in the finals was one of the biggest milestones of his career, cementing Zverev as a major promise for the future. Madrid Masters 1000 2018. Another major highlight before his victory in Rome. Zverev won the Madrid title by defeating Austrian Dominic Thiem in the final. This title further confirmed his ability to compete with the best, especially on fast surfaces. Throughout 2019, Zverev established himself as one of the top 5 players on the circuit. The major highlight of this period was his consistent presence in the semifinals and finals of major tournaments such as Masters 1000s and the ATP Finals. His rise in the rankings put him in a strategic position to compete in the biggest tournaments, and many saw him as a potential future world #1. However, despite his impressive performances, Zverev continued to face challenges, particularly regarding Grand Slams. Although he reached the US Open in 2020 in the final, his quest for a first Slam title was still ongoing. For many, Zverev appeared to be in a transitional phase where experience in big finals and tournaments would be the missing step in his career. In 2022, Zverev's injury was a devastating blow to his career. During the French Open semifinal, he suffered a rupture of the ligaments in his right ankle at a critical moment, sidelining him for several months. This injury marked a turning point for Zverev, who saw his 2022 season unravel due to the necessary rehabilitation. The recovery was a long and painful process, both physically and mentally. Zverev faced emotional challenges dealing with the pain, frustration, and doubts about whether he would be able to return to his best level. Many questioned if he could reach the level he had shown before the injury, but Zverev proved that his determination was stronger than any physical obstacle. Beyond injuries, Zverev also had to deal with criticism about his behavior on and off the court, particularly following the breakup with his ex-girlfriend. These personal issues, widely discussed in the media, affected his mental state and added extra pressure on him. Despite all these difficulties, Zverev remained strong, focused on his recovery and return to the circuit, and always expressed his ambition to come back stronger than ever. After a long period of recovery, Zverev returned to the circuit in 2023 and quickly began showing signs of his renewed strength. While the comeback wasn't immediate, he showed signs of recovery throughout the year with a solid performance at the Paris Masters 1000. reaching the third round and at the 2023 US Open where he reached the quarterfinals. In 2024, Zverev continued his recovery journey, being one of the most consistent players in the circuit. At the Rome Masters 1000, he delivered a solid performance, facing some of the best players in the world, and although he didn't win the title, he made it clear that he was prepared to fight for more. The 2024 French Open final where he reached the title match was another important milestone. Although he lost to Carlos Alcaraz, this run to the final showed that Zverev was getting closer to his first Grand Slam. He continued his fight, never losing motivation, and his performance in 2024 suggests that a big triumph is within his reach. The story of Alexander Zverev is one of talent, overcoming adversity and persistence. He has shown the world that the true strength of an athlete is not only in victories, but in the ability to recover from setbacks and reinvent himself. Zverev is one of the greatest tennis players of his generation and continues to be a central figure in discussions about the future of tennis. Hey, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.